Living a life of abundance is constantly feeling like your cup is being filled. Not necessarily because you won the lottery, not necessarily because your daughter got accepted into that, college that she's been wanting to go to, but just little bitty soul serving nuggets that happen throughout your day.
Katina Washington, founder and CEO of She, ventured into entrepreneurship in 2015 after taking the courageous step to leave her job to pursue her dream. She created and founded the She Event Indy, a not-for-profit organization focused on providing opportunities, tools, and resources to help connect, grow, and scale over 500 Black-owned businesses to help create legacies throughout the community. Katina is a visionary leader that opened and operated the first Black department store in Circle Center Mall in Indianapolis, the She Experience Shops. She is the host of the Katina Washington Show and author of the newly released memoir, Becoming Whole, Journey to Authenticity. Katina Washington's success and mission has been built on the African Ubuntu philosophy. I am because we are.
Welcome back to the Finally Be podcast. Oh my goodness, I have such a dynamic person on the podcast today. Let me just say this. When I first encountered this individual, I was in shock because the energy flow that came off of her was so unique to her being herself. And if you were to speak with her or talk to her, you could just have such a quick connection. And I did have a really quick connection with this woman. She not only shows us a way to kind of look into ourselves and be able to be capable of the more and to kind of not just be reaching for things, but recognize that you can live today the life that you really want to. And all you have to do is really just open your eyes to it and take those steps towards it. And so I wanted her on the podcast because that is the pinnacle of what we need right now is somebody to say, this is who I am and this is who I get to be. And I choose it every day. So I just want you guys to know that I just want you to get to know her, like I want to get to know her even more. This is Miss Katina Washington.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for such a warm welcome. First of all, your hair is the bomb.
Oh, thank you.
Let's start there. Yeah, I love, love, love your hair. It's always really pretty and always well groomed and just looks healthy all the time. So that's really refreshing to see. Thank you. Thank you for being interested in me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's nice to receive, invitations for things like this, but especially when part of your story includes a lot of times when you're looked over or ignored or, things like that. So thank you. I really appreciate moments like this.
The more people that get introduced to people like you, they're able to see themselves doing something different. It's not just about being a model, because a lot of times we dream in copies. We dream in copies. So we're dreaming about being Oprah or being this person over here, and we're not recognizing they're dreaming about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
They're saying to themselves that this is who I am today, and all I got to do is make those choices to be exactly
Absolutely.
who I want to be. And getting closer to you and knowing that you're doing these amazing things, people can see somebody who is an example that you're not just opening doors for people, that people can see they can open their own doors. And so I'm
Absolutely.
so appreciative of you being here. So let's get right into it. Tell us, what is your origin story?
Oh, wow. That can be very complex and long. To talk about my origin story, but I come from like a lot of people. humble beginnings.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Humble beginnings. But at the same time, I was blessed by a lot of the by being amongst a lot of like powerful women. You know what I'm saying? I think all of us can look back and say, maybe grandma or mama or somebody may have needed a little more guidance or something like that. But also, there was a group of powerful women, that we've been around to help us, give us guidance. You know what I'm saying? It could be like for me, when I was younger, there was a lady who sat next to me in church that I really admired. So you grab some of her class and stuff like that from her. Then you got this other person over here, like the bootleg cat when I was growing up. So they were, I love the entrepreneur spirit in them. They just didn't have the technology, right? To be an Uber or Lyft, right? And just grabbing things from different people I saw. And I don't even know if they really even saw the power in themselves or how they were influencing me, at a really young age. But I have to say, yeah, I had a lot of trials and tribulations, humble beginnings, but I was born into a family of really strong women.
What does it mean to be a strong woman?
Um, 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 and this may be looked at as maybe not a positive thing, but being a strong woman to me means carrying a lot of weight. It means a lot of layers. It means a lot of taboo. It means putting a picture over the hole in the wall. It means never really addressing things, just continuing on in life. Or, some people may look at it as a situation where you're on the treadmill and you really ain't going nowhere. You just feel like you are. You know what I'm saying? But that's what a strong woman means to me. A strong woman means a heavy woman to me. I'm sorry. I want to make sure. I'm sorry someone's going back here. But yeah, that's what that means to me.
It sounds like you're saying that it means to carry the weight of others, to make sure that you are setting yourself up for a life that you actually want to live, even if you don't ever get there. And you just
Yeah.
keep pushing. So how did
Mhm.
what did you have to push through in your life?
And some of the things I had to push through in my life, I just realized here recently is like my capacity, you know. Some of the things I pushed through in life are domestic violence. Um, at a young age, at a very young age, at the age of 16. So we think that, well, not we think, but some people think domestic violence is like an adult thing.
Mm.
And there are youth that are going through that. Some youth learn that behavior at a young age and act out on that. And I don't think we really realize how much it happens
Mhm.
in our communities. It definitely happened to me at the age of 16. And actually, I, I endured some things from the domestic violence that I will have to deal with for the rest of my life, damage to myself. Yeah, that I have to deal with. And I'm not talking about just the mental part of it. Like, yeah, there's things about my physical that happened to me that will permanently be a scar for me, for the rest of my life. So, I mean, it's not like, it's a situation where, it's a small cut or something, that just goes away after time or something like that. Yeah, I have physical damage that I will have to look in the mirror and see for the rest of my life. So that's one of the things that I push through. Um, and I'm 51 years old. I'll be 52 in June of this year. And just now getting to a point where I can really talk about it without it being so painful, and where I don't feel like I have to continue to carry this load. So now I'm at a time in my life where it's like that heavy woman is kind of rising because she's pulling back these layers and she's being lifted. You know what I mean?
I always talk about in the energy work, I always talk about layers in our being. There's layers
Mhm.
that's being revealed every day. Like you're always and has always been the person that you wanted to be and that you were meant to be. But to peel back those layers takes work. It takes you being more and more
Right.
aware of yourself and what you're capable of and what your capacity is. And
Absolutely.
for me, I just wanted to know, dealing with all of those things that you struggle through and all those things that you push through, how did you get to that place where you could see yourself differently and begin to take those steps forward?
Absolutely. Uh, one time that I can actually say that I really saw myself differently was during my sabbatical. I took a month sabbatical in November of this year, and um, I would suggest that to anyone that has the opportunity to do so. But I took a sabbatical, and during that sabbatical, I really saw who I was. Spending a month alone, no phone, no social media. Yeah, you get to about the second week, I was talking to myself, right? And I got to know who I was and my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And just taking time to just enjoy peace. And what I mean by peace is not just complete quietness, but what I mean by peace is not feeling stressed to like get up, go to work, take the kids on a field trip, do this, do that, do the other. You know what I'm saying? Just taking time out for yourself to learn who you are authentically,
Mm.
you know? And that is what inspired me to write the book that I just wrote, living authentically. Because it wasn't until that time in November that I really took time to travel back into my childhood and my origin
Wow.
and really learn who I was. Why do you do this? Why do you keep trying to use flour over and over again? Okay, that's because mama did it. That's one of the layers of stress that I have. Because I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to keep using a flour over and over again. If I've been blessed and put in a position where I can purchase another $2 bag of flour, then I don't have to stress about trying to save it forever and ever and ever. You know what I'm saying? And then when I say capacity, that's understanding that circumstances can change because, circumstances impact people's decisions. So when we learn that about ourselves you know, um, and it becomes our guide to making decisions, um, it all runs together, right? It all runs together and it just makes so much sense, after you really think about it and analyze everything and you're like, okay, yeah, sometimes um things or people are good at what used to work. It doesn't necessarily mean it works now. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to adjust and change and then tap into yourself to see, you know, is that what I want?
Mhm.
Is that what I want? Yeah.
That understanding of getting to that place of asking yourself that question, that goes into that place of being honest about what it is and
Mhm.
who. We always talk about being our authentic self. We always talk about who I am, right? But we don't actually embrace that all of this is a part of our experience. All of this is who you are. It's just
Yeah.
you decided and choosing what you get to look like today and what you get to look like tomorrow. And when you say that you're just pulling it all together to be able to see yourself even more, to see where, that conditioned self came from. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I do that? You're discovering
Absolutely.
that you've copied things that you didn't want to copy. And now you're discovering for yourself that you can make another choice. You can choose something
Right.
differently. And I think that's the thing that people miss a lot and avoid a lot is that they think they're trapped in the circumstance that they've created for themselves or in the circumstance that's being presented to them. And that takes a lot of trust to learn that. So, how did you get to that place where you decided that you were going to be not just honest with yourself, but the trust to make a different decision?
Um, um, you have to own your life. You have to make a decision to own your life. Own your day, own your hour, own your minute, your second. You know what I'm saying? And then it really makes you look at almost every aspect of your life and say, okay, am I doing this because this is something that feeds my soul or something that's good for me? Or am I doing this out of habit? Am I doing this because my friends do it? My mom did it. My grandma did it. You know, what is it about me that makes me continuously do something that I don't really enjoy, you
Mm.
know? So we look inside of ourselves and say, let's find the root of that. And then when we make a decision to let go of certain things, you have to like disconnect from everything that's an extension of that. You know what I'm saying? So if I decide, I don't want friends like such and such, what she does, it doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel this and it makes me feel that. And that's not working for me. It's not serving me anymore. So what you have to do is you have to disconnect. That's part of the healing process. No, you're not mad. You're not holding a grudge or anything like that. You just realize this is something that's not serving me right now. And so therefore, I have to disconnect from this
What
and
does it mean?
everything connected with it.
What does it mean when you say it's not serving you?
What I say is it's not serving me is okay. For an example, if I attend my family gathering and every single time that I go, yeah, I have a good time. But oh, there's this one moment where that family member just comes over to me and just says something that just totally catches me off guard because we got to realize too, we all have gifts, right?
Yes, we
And sometimes we all have gifts, no matter how good or bad you are, we all have gifts. And maybe that person who pushes your button or, ticks you off or whatever, maybe their gift is to see great things in people.
Mm.
And sometimes maybe they may see something in you that you don't yet see in yourself, right? And um what I mean by not serving me is because I don't have to subject myself to going into places where I'm tolerated instead of celebrated. And so no, this isn't serving me anymore. So I'm sorry. I love you, but I cannot attend your function anymore because I go with my cup full. And by the time I leave after talking to you, it's halfway full and I still got the rest of the day to go, right? So, yeah, making those detrimental, decisions for yourself.
Mhm. So, in all of that, you're being honest with yourself. You're revealing more and more about you. You're seeing your capacity for more. How do you get to that place where you're living life of purpose?
Yeah. Living a life of purpose is being your authentic self.
Mm.
Being your authentic self. Sometimes we feel like, oh, we have to have 10, 11, 12 best friends and things like that. What if you spent more time and focus more on those 2 or 3 friends you have? You know what I'm saying? And living an authentic life. One time when I was younger, I told my grandma, I'm like, oh, those people down the street, they won't play with me. They're ignoring me today and all of that. And my grandma's like, well, look behind you. And I look behind me, and there's my 2 friends who are there all the time to play with me. So I'm wasting so much time, right? Trying to make someone else be friends with me when I could just spend time with the 2 I got right now and build from that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of just being more conscious. You know what I'm saying? In the decisions that we make and just more aware of the things that are around us right now.
One of our principal powers that we're blessed to have, and every person has, is a creator energy power where, and we start observing our life as God sees us. we can see more things that are around us that's available to us that we're allowed to tap into. I love the fact that you're in this place in your life, and it sounds like this has been your journey for quite some time of recognizing more and more of yourself, more of the things that you love, and more of the things you want more of. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely.
you're living this life of more abundance, right? What does that mean for you to live a life of abundance?
Living a life of abundance is constantly feeling like your cup is being filled.
Mm.
Not necessarily because you won the lottery, not necessarily because your daughter got accepted into that, college that she's been wanting to go to, but just little bitty soul serving nuggets that happen throughout your day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just going back to your car and it's safe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, going to bed at night and your body didn't flip off. You know what I'm saying? And ruin your pillow. Yeah, just taking note of those precious moments like that. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a life of abundance,
Mm. That
you
is
know?
beautiful gratitude, thinking about every
Yeah.
little moment.
Every little moment.
Oh, I love what you're saying. I would love to have you back on here. But first of all, we need to get to know how to stay in contact with you. What is coming up for you? I know you didn't drop something special. You mentioned this. So, tell us a little bit about that, baby.
So I have my book signing coming up on January the 27th, which will be held there at the She Experience. Yeah, at 838 North Delaware.
Okay.
And my book is the big thing for me right now. I'm really, really excited about my book. I've tried to write this book several times and it's just now happening. So when I say this is my number one focus right now, it is my focus right now is my mental health in my book.
Mm.
And just getting it into the hands of as many women as I can get it into the hands of, and just hope that even one chapter is life changing. Someone made a post on Facebook today and said, "I'm reading your book, and it makes me feel like I need to be in a private space." And that makes me feel so good because to know that your book uh, makes you know just knowing that my book makes people want to feel like I need to. This is like a special moment for someone to say I need to be in a private space. That makes me feel like it's a special moment, a moment that they want to capture, something that's not so transactional, like, oh, another book, let me just read it. No, it's like creating a whole experience around reading the book. That I love.
I love that too. That just goes
That
right
I
back to how you
really
live
love.
life. That is
Uh,
beautiful. That self-reflection, the experience of being just having that person sit in a space to open up. I know that is the
oh, I love that. I love that. Yes, I love that. So, that's my focus right now. And also to, um, main focus. I was at Carriage House East today, and they have a library there. And I asked, how do I get my book in here? Because when I spoke about the domestic violence situation earlier, that's one of my reasons for moving in Carriage House was I just wanted to get away from that. I wanted to get away from the mental abuse and things like that. So that's how I made my move. And if I can touch the life of one teenager there, one young adult there, or even older adult that's still dealing with those layers that they have to peel back, hey, that's good enough for me.
So I would love you kind of wrapped up on so many things, just telling us that you have this beautiful book, which is it's called Becoming fearless, right?
Becoming whole. Becoming
Becoming
whole.
whole. Okay.
Yeah, and it is journey to authenticity. It's what it's
Okay.
about.
Whole journey to authenticity. I love that title because that is all about my brand, girl. Being whole, worthy, and ready to receive. And I just love how you're talking about what that means to you and being honest with yourself,
Oh,
pulling back those layers. I wanted to know if you could leave my listeners with one thing that's going to help inspire them and know that this is possible for them too. What would you
oh
leave?
wow. I a lady said something to me today, and I've heard the term before, but when she said it, it was just so powerful. And what she is she's a lady that I am partnering with to get some of my products in Dubai. And before I left, she said, "Okay, I see you later. I see you later, Katina." She's African, right? And she said her sister said some phrase in French, and I asked her. I said, "What does that mean?" And she said, "Oh, it means it will work."
All right.
And I was like, "Wow." I said, "I like that. It will work." And you know what? For the next few days, I'm gonna look up that French phrase, right? And I'm gonna learn it because when she said it, it was just so beautiful, and I didn't even know what it meant, right? But when she said that's what it meant, I was like, "Oh, that just makes it even better." She said it will work.
It will work. Thank you
She
for
said
that.
it will work. So, whatever that means to whoever's listening, it will work. And, hey, take control of your day, own your vacation, own your time alone. And what I mean by own your time alone is if you have that family member that's always calling you with their problem and their issue turns into, and it has started having anniversaries, then, if you're spending your time alone and you're going to own your time alone, I can't talk to you right now. I care about you and I love you. But right now, I got to take care of me because if I don't pull my own ass down first and take care of me, I can't answer any more of your calls either because there won't be no more of me. So, self preservation and it will work. I will say that. Those two things.
Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate you being here. How was it for you?
But listen, listen, this has been an incredible moment. It's been an incredible moment. I love your spirit. I just love the aura that you carry with you. So yeah, keep having that. We need that. We need that. We need Marcy's in this world because honey, if our cup is halfway through full, look, a quarter will be full, up to the top of the rim or whatever. You can go hook up with Marcy and your cup overflows, okay?
Well,
It
thank
overflows, yeah. So thank you for being you. I really
Thank
appreciate
you so much for that. Is the Finally Be podcast. I'm just so appreciative of having this dynamic woman on today. And you guys got to get out there and get with her. She's having this book signing. All these beautiful things are coming about, owner, founder, all the stuff. She does it all, you guys. She's level. Connect with her. Finally be just means just connecting with yourself, knowing who you are, allowing yourself for what's possible, because it is possible for you to create the life worth living. If you know someone that would benefit from this episode, please share, comment. I love connecting to new people. This has been the Finally Be podcast. Create the life that you know you would love to live. I'm your host, Marci Grayson, the Intuitive Wholeness Coach.